The basketball playoffs are here, and the action is heating up on Prize Picks. The best place to cash in on your favorite sports. Cash in on the basketball playoffs with Prize Picks. Don't miss your last chance to add your favorite players to your Prize Picks lineup. Whether it's points, rebounds, assists, take your pick of more or less for your shot to win up to $2,000 worth of cash. Your cash today. Turn your playoff hot takes into tickets to basketball championship series like the NBA Finals. Starting with the play-in round, every lineup you make on Prize Picks will enter you into Take Two tickets sweepstakes, which could get you and a +1 to a VIP trip to the ship, which is the championship. Prize Picks, it's the best place to win cash while you're watching sports. Join millions of users and sign up. Don't miss your chance to add your favorite players from the ice in your Prize Picks lineup, whether it's goals, points, or hits. Take your pick or more or less for your shot. Once again, to win up to $2,000 times your cash today.
Nigga, why can't Rod start with 17?
Gerald Brown, NBA to pay, back again. NBA playoffs are here, and there's so much to get into. And this gentleman, I've known him for many, many years. He's a very creative individual, one of the best in the business, actor, comedian extraordinaire, Mr. Maronzio Vance.
What's going on, Brown?
Maronzio, I talk to you more than ever when the NBA playoffs are in full swing. What are your thoughts on the playoffs thus far, man? We've had a great run, and it's been unbelievable. What has been your thoughts overall?
Well, first of all, to speak to that whole we talk more during the playoff, you kind of like taught me that indirectly, because I'll hit you up and be like, Gerald, so-and-so going crazy. Calm down, Maronzio. It's regular season. They not playoff proven. So I'm like, all right, let me not be big in the chest about somebody like the Indiana Pacers that I was big in the chest about last year when they picked up Siakam in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
Last year, I said, Gerald, they picked up Siakam. Them boys is long. But nobody was checking for Indiana because they don't have a star. They're making Tyrese Halliburton the star, but he want to be Steve Urkel too bad. He don't know how to. He's Looney Tunes, Steph Curry. Like, he's not serious. You know what I mean? Like, he just be like, hey man, I just got a ball. I'm dribbling and I run away from the court, and I turn around, and I throw it at the goal, and they go in, and I grab my throat like Reggie Miller on the sideline because I'm crazy. I don't know what I'm doing. and then, they picked up Siakam. I was like, that's big. They picked up Siakam. And then, like, they have what the OKC is. OKC is like a team of a bunch of players you ain't never heard of, but they play. Jalen Williams came out of nowhere. Don't they got 2 Jalen Williams on their team?
Yeah, they got 2.
They got 2 Jalen Williams on their team. They got a Dort on their team. I don't even know what that is.
I tell you this. The thing that I've taken away from these playoffs is a couple of things. Number one, we got to start giving credit to Rick Carlisle and the job he's done with that young team. And then number two, yes, youth matters, and you look at what Oklahoma City has done. But the biggest thing is with both of the teams that they've been able to thus far, take down in the East and Western Conference, they're very similar. In the case of the Knickerbockers, just seems, again, not taking care of the ball, valuing possessions. Yeah. When they have the ball in the offense, and then just defensively, just again all over the place, bad decisions in terms of shot selections. Not valuing the possession. When I look at Minnesota is still trying to play isolation basketball versus a team that is good perimeter defense. But if you move the basketball and force them to play defense and utilize ball movement, something that Oklahoma City is doing, you become that much better of a team. And that's going to be the biggest challenge for Anthony Edwards going into the offseason as he takes that next step, because now we're going to start to say, okay, you're a good regular season player, but now the expectation is you need to elevate your game to be an MVP, at least MVP type of player.
I watched Minnesota and I'm like, what do you like Boston didn't make adjustments when they played the Knicks. That's why they lost. Boston didn't make adjustments. They were like, live by the three, die by the three, and then Tatum's ankles, his Achilles went to Cancun before everybody else did. So they were like, what we gonna do now? And then we find out Jalen's neck wasn't connected the entire playoff series because he got to have surgery. You're like, oh, all these people had injuries? Oh my God. And Larry Bird had appendicitis, so he couldn't show up. Like all these reasons that you find out later. But then you look at Minnesota, you're like, yo, y'all gonna have to adjust because OKC is a team. They're a team like San Antonio was a team. Popovich had a system where take a play out, I'm gonna put another play in. It's gonna be the same thing because the overall message, the overall coaching of the team is team ball, move without the ball, set pick screens. Everybody know their position on that squad. You know what I mean? Even with SGA being the MVP and very high profile, it still feels like a small market San Antonio, Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Ginobili type of international guys that are from here, though. They play like international guys that are from America, if you know what I mean.
Well, they have a good system. I mean, you hit it right on the head with the San Antonio Spurs. When you look at the Oklahoma City Thunder, they have been built primarily through the draft. Yes, they picked up Isaiah Hartenstein and Alex Caruso. But for the
SGA.
Yeah, well, SGA, I mean, that was just sort of gift wrapped to them by the Clippers. But if you look at them, they have continuously understood who they are. They're going to have to build through the draft. You know, obviously, they're not going. When guys get to a point, they're going to have to move them, recoup draft picks, and just continue to make sure you're picking the type of players that fit your system and your identity. And that's what we had in San Antonio. And then obviously you need a centerpiece, and they have that at SGA. I want to look at the New York Knicks. And obviously it's going to be a lot of finger pointing, a lot of questions, a lot of things. I think two things that I've learned about the Knicks is obviously Jalen Brunson is unbelievable offensively, but he is now turning into a guy that what Indiana has been doing, they have picked him out and singled him in pick and roll situation, and then defensively showing that he is potentially a liability. Then the same thing with Karl Anthony Towns. I give Karl Anthony Towns, it's okay, a lot of credit because that's been crazy. He has really, really focused on.
I wonder if he go back and look at I wonder if he go back and look at videos of him and be like, why did I pass the ball? Why am I so gentle when I pass it? He'd be like, take it. Go to the basket. Come on. Go to the basket, guy. I'm like, who are you doing this for? You trying to play for the Liberty in the offseason? Why are you playing like this?
But to his credit,
Keisha Anthony Towns coming off the bench for the New York Liberty, picked up out of where did she come from? Kanisha Anthony Towns coming off the bench, number 23.
But man, I look at again. It's going to be a lot of it's definitely going to be a lot of questions that need to be answered in the offseason. Right now they can't get past the Indiana Pacers, and now we have a NBA Finals that are featured. I like to say it's a regional NBA Finals because you don't have a smart.
You don't have to state against Butler.
Yeah, you know.
This is a Midwestern showdown. There's going to be tornadoes and corn. Don't nobody care about either one of these cities. What celebrity is like, yo, I can't wait to get to Oklahoma City so I can wrestle a goat and fight a tornado and play in dirt with my rattlesnakes.
We're gonna see a lot of people doing them fan dances between.
Oh, there'll be some line dancers out front, cowboys. They're gonna look. You go to the halftime game at OKC, they let a little goat go, and you got to chase it around and wrap the legs up, and they time you like, I did it in 30 seconds. That's not what you do at halftime. Then what you gonna do in Indiana? What you gonna do in Indiana for the
you gonna have a cornhole throw.
On a cornhole throw, you go visit the Ku Klux Klan Museum because that's where it's at.
No. They gonna have a beauty and hair show.
Beauty and hair show. What, Mike Pence gonna come out and throw the first pitch? They ain't even got a baseball team there. What are they doing in Indiana? That's gonna be the lowest ratings ever. I think people gonna be like, it's the ABA. They should play this game. They should play the finals in black and white. That's how low ratings and uninteresting this finals is gonna be.
But it's unfair. I think it's really unfair. But I think clearly, look, the NBA is getting ready to enter a new phase with the new TV contract.
Yep.
They're already set. But if I'm Disney, I got to be livid because I'm talking about now you don't have a major market. And the last hope was the New York Knicks. And you even had a New York Knicks and let's say Oklahoma City. Yeah, you could sell that. Obviously, you know, two teams and two franchises looking for their NBA championship. You can sell that. You're going to have New York. Translation, now you have advertising dollars that could be on full display. With this series right here, the advertising dollars are going to drop severely. But I tell you, the biggest winner in all of this, Maronzio, Major League Baseball. I think people are going to tune this out and be really, really interested.
Oh, yeah. Even if Minnesota, look, you could have salvaged the NBA season if you could have got Minnesota in the finals. Bless you. You could have got Minnesota in the finals and New York in the finals. Because now you got a revenge story. Karl Anthony Towns back in New York going against Julius Randle back in, going against his old team. You got Anthony Edwards, who is going to be, I guess they trying to make him be the next Jordan to see how he acts when he goes into Madison Square Garden with the flu or whatever, or COVID, whatever the new thing is, But we're going to get Tyrese Halliburton. And we get to watch SGA's outfits as he walks.
We get Tyrese's dad. We get Tyrese Halliburton's dad.
Is his dad allowed in the gym anymore?
He was back in there.
He snuck in looking like Terry Porter.
He looked like Slick Watson.
he went in look like Terry Porter cosplay. I was like, is that Trent Tucker?
But you know what? We would have gotten something if it was Isaiah Hartenstein.
Oh, God, Isaiah Hartenstein going against New York.
Yeah, so you would have had something. It's just such a big disappointment that we didn't get the New York Knicks.
There's no connective tissue. There's no rivalry with OKC.
No, but it's still young teams. And I think with this new TV contract, it's the NBA searching for the next great team. And that's the biggest thing,
They're auditioning stars.
Yes, exactly. You hit it right on the head. Auditioning stars.
How do you handle the big lights?
Exactly.
Do you give good interviews?
Yes.
What advertisers are like, let's latch on to this guy right here? You know what I mean? And that's where Tyrese Halliburton will win because he got a big personality.
Yeah, but is he marketable? I mean, this is a guy that sat on the bench for the Olympics last year. I don't know.
He's clean cut. He don't get in trouble. He's Tiger Woods. You know what I mean? He's Tiger Woods. He's Steph Curry without the skills. He's likable. He's smiling. He's being goofy. He don't look street at all. He look like, you know what I'm saying, he Uber to work or something like that. Like he's not menacing or threatening at all. With Ant Edwards, you don't know what'll come out his mouth. He'll say anything. You ever seen that Sprite commercial with him and Grant Hill?
Yes.
And he looked at Grant Hill like, "Why are you even here, dog? Why is he here? What do you do again? What? You got drafted when? Oh, I wasn't even born yet, dog. Anyway, why is Grant Hill him and Grant Hill got nothing in common?
Yeah.
Except they used to be 22 at one point.
No, I mean, you got to remember wasn't he on the Olympic team? He was a part of the Olympic team. So yeah, Grant Hill's the director of the Olympics. But the bottom line is that this was an audition for the New York Knicks.
And they failed.
And they failed. And I don't know what's going to look like next year. I mean, obviously, looking ahead, Boston is going to probably be without Jason Tatum.
Is Tatum going to be gone for the whole year?
Probably, probably. And now you talk about Kevin Durant and where he's going to land. It's really up for grabs. But I tell you this, NBC is going to look at Amazon as well, but mainly NBC. They're going to want to make sure that next year's NBA Finals, it's got to have major market.
You will have Steph Curry in that finals, or this LeBron's last season probably, because this will be year 23, his jersey 23. The final, the All-Star weekend is in LA this year, so that's a lot of things playing into the right there. And I think they got Bronny a tutor, so he'll be fine when LeBron step down. They got him bunk beds inside the lockers, so he sleep overnight.
Do you still stay in contact with Joel Embiid? Because I know you mentioned Pascal Siakam a lot.
Nah, man,
I don't talk to him anymore. He mad at Paul George for tricking him into believing he's still an all-star. Tyrese Maxey is acting like, I don't know, man. I'm gonna go back to the Congo.
He just give up and go back to Africa. He like,
yo, did he mess up the deal he had with the Jordache jeans?
Joel Embiid.
Oh, Pascal Siakam got that.
Pascal Siakam got that deal now.
What is the deal? Tell him.
Pascal Siakam, every game over 20 points, they get 1,200 ankle socks. Some mesh tank tops and some Wrangler jeans with the knees cut out. For circulation. Wrangler.
What they do? They send them where he's doing all these jeans and stuff.
Oh, they send him to Pascal Siakam. Got a boys and girls hut in his village where he come from. It's not a club; it's a hut.
What you said? You said that Joel Embiid he had some chats. Oh my God! No slide. True story. You had my man that was the GM for the vice president for the New Orleans Pelicans, David Griffin. You had him on the phone. He was listening. Yo, he was like, yo, I never laughed harder than that, yo. You was like, yo, you sitting in them pants back to his village and they have his ass out.
Oh, yeah, the Jordache jeans. With Prince had ordered a bunch of Jordache pants for a performance, and they never used them. And they gave him to Joel Embiid, and Joel thought he was getting a deal. And he sent him to Cameroon, and all the kids in the village took a picture with him. And then he turned around, and all these kids had their ass out in these pants. And Joel was like, I don't know what happened.
No.
So this next contract he under is to pay to get the pants covered up.
Oh man, Maronzio, before I let you get on that,
You got 300 kids in the village running around playing soccer with their ass out. and a thing of chapstick in their pocket. What are you doing with that?
Oh God, yo, stop.
Why you playing soccer in Jordan Ash pants? What are you doing?
Yo, Maronzio, I want to ask you this because we're just in a different climate, right?
Right.
And obviously, comedy has always been something that was a great diversion from all the ills that we have transpire in our world. And a lot of the times, if you look at comedy, you could touch on certain things and stuff. And, we're in a very, very sensitive space now in our society and stuff. What are your thoughts overall on comedy nowadays, especially with the booming success of internet comedy and just, again, so many different levels to it?
I know no one's going to take the time to use discernment or like to decipher what they're getting from the person that they're getting their comedy from. So I used to teach comedy. So one of my ways of teaching comedy was I would ask the students or the person that's trying to learn, what's your goal? What's your objective? Why do you want to make people laugh? And why did you choose this that you're using to try to make people laugh? Do you really know why you're doing this? Do you even know what you're doing to get the laughs that you are receiving? I know what I'm doing every time I open my mouth and I say something. I know where the joke is. I know how far to take the joke. I know all the angles of that joke that I am using if it doesn't work a certain way. Everybody doesn't do that. We live in an era now where if you got a phone, you're a celebrity. It doesn't matter where you are. You can be in Hoboken. It doesn't matter. As long as you got a phone and you can upload however you entertain people, however you choose to entertain people, you live and die by that. And if you get a following, people will follow you. And that's all it takes is one person to believe in you and you keep doing it. We train people to, I believe what we're doing, Gerald, is we are erasing accountability in terms of when someone gets offended, right? Oh, you allowed yourself to get upset. No, I didn't. He talked about getting eaten by a bear, and my dad got ate by a bear. It's a sensitive subject to me, right? You know what I'm saying? But the joke was, oh yeah, whatever the joke is about somebody eating bears, but you make fun of it, but you also got to understand why you're making fun of it, right? Like I watch all these ball players now. Gilbert Arenas got a podcast, way out of pocket. Here's how way out of pocket it is. They posted a video and the video is a meme going around where they're saying this is Dwayne Wade teaching his kid how to dribble a basketball. And the video is a guy dribbling the ball with his ass, like he's just bouncing the ball with his ass. Gilbert played that on his podcast, the video and everything. Yeah. And I'm like, that's personal. Right? That's personal. Then you watch Kenya Martin and Nick Young get into it on Gilbert's podcast. Drew, I don't know how you feel about it, but I liked it better when athletes didn't talk.
What do you mean by that?
It's too many people who they trying to score more points off the court than they did on court. You trying to be more popular off the court than you want. Like Jeff T tells funny stories. I know more about Jeff T off the court than I do on the court. I know more about Brandon Jennings now than I did when he was in the league. He had a promising career, rookie season, and then he started playing for the Croatian Thundercats or something. I don't know. He got shipped overseas or whatever.
Well, I think you know what it is. I mean, look, podcasting has opened up a it's kind of like a Pandora's box because look, everybody has access to a microphone, right? And what has transpired now, all of a sudden, I'll say the good that comes along with it, because now it allows people to really have a platform to share their thoughts and opinions. That's great.
Right.
However, the negative is it becomes something now that people will get on and look for clickbait and shock value and say whatever that is to attract the attention. And it's almost like a version of reality TV. I will say and do something that's so crazy that the biggest thing that, associated with social media, even podcasting worlds ever, is viral. I'm going viral. I want to go viral. And when you do that, it's almost like 15 minutes of fame, right? 15 minutes of fame, ha ha ha, and all this stuff. But it just becomes now, how do you outdo what you have done last time?
Because that's what's going on with, even though he must be in TV witness protection program right now, but we haven't seen Shannon Sharp in 2 weeks. Skip, you want to get back together and do a podcast? Skip, they're trying to silence me, Skip. Right? Gone. But he had a podcast. He had a great interview with Cat Williams that sent him over the top. He hasn't been able to duplicate that since. Everything else has been like attention grabbing situations to keep the eye on him. You know what I mean?
Right. And
he can't top it. He had Monique on there, and Monique didn't really move the needle like Cat Williams moved the needle.
Yeah.
And it just turns out he just want to interview a whole bunch of comics. You know what I mean? For clickbait.
Right.
Because every comic that he's interviewing ain't worth talking to.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I think the biggest thing is that I won't say success, but attention can be very addictive, right? You attention starved, look at me. And I always believe, if you don't have nothing to say, I'm not going to get on the microphone and that's not have anything to say. I'm going to say something that's worth making you think, laugh, and have a great time, and just say, you know what? Hey, think, laugh, and really give a different perspective. And I think that's what has been overshadowed with all of this nonsense when you look at podcasting, because podcasting is a space that it has opened up so many doors for, let's be honest, a lot of people of color that might not have an opportunity to be on a major network, radio platform, and all that stuff. But it has also opened up the door, like I said, reality TV. I'm gonna throw drinks on you. I'm gonna do all this crazy stuff for that 15 minutes of fame, and that is addictive.
Because attention is like sugar; it's in everything, and people want attention. People want attention, and the podcast space, as good as it has been for people who probably wouldn't have even. There's people that's making money now that probably wouldn't have made money if podcasts didn't exist.
Right.
But also because podcasts exist, we're subject to listen to Austin Rivers talk about basketball for an hour.
Well, he played basketball, Maronzio. That's not fair. You got a lot on your chest, man.
You think I want to hear about a man's career that was an allowance? What? If you don't think Doc Rivers didn't get 10% of his check when he played for his dad,
you only here because of me. Go. Austin, go to my car and get my lunch.
Oh man,
where is it, Dad?
It's in your car seat.
Before we get you out of here, man, because obviously you got so much going on and from moving and all this stuff. What keeps you staying in the space of comedy, Maronzio? What keeps you connected to comedy and wanting to still pursue it?
I find something different about it to exploit, I challenge myself to come up with different ways to create. I come up with different ways to entertain. I come up with different ways to inform. I come up with different ways to inspire. I'd like to take the tough topics that people won't touch to find out if there is humor in them. So that's exciting for me. Plus, I mean, it's what I know how to do. Like, I can continue to do this and not look like Brett Favre, where people say you should have walked away a long time ago. Like, I can still play ball, and I mean, I can still do comedy and not look like I shouldn't be out there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, plus, I mean, my favorites, you know, I do it because Patrice can't do it anymore.
Patrice O'Neal.
Yeah, I do it because Patrice can't do it anymore. And if Patrice was here and I told him I was thinking about doing comedy, I'd rather try to take a rebound from Ben Wallace than try to argue with Patrice about why I should stop doing comedy. I wouldn't do it. I do it because Paul Mooney is not here anymore. I do it because, you know, the people that inspired me didn't stop doing it, you know?
Do you change? Do you think? And obviously, I look at comedy and comics. It's almost like a how would you say? It's almost like hip hop, right? So many different artists, so many different rappers, everywhere around. You know, do you change up how you go about doing it? Like, obviously, it's easy to get on internet, get on social media. You're really connecting and developing that fan base. You are very, very talented. Have you thought about changing, or have you been, you know, have you really toyed with the idea of changing up how you deliver your comedy to the masses?
I did. I already have. Like, I don't stand up anymore. I sit down now. And I tell stories more now than I ever have before, even though we are definitely in this time period where people don't have an attention span whatsoever. You know what I mean? People consume their content on their phones, their cell phones, the apps or whatever, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat. Everything is quick, fast, in quick dosages and increments. I can't do that. Mm-hmm. But I figured out a way to do it where I can still get my point across and I'm still able to perform. So I let people move the way you can flow with the river, or you can do your own thing, man. I do my own thing, because if you go with everybody's doing and you still fail, you're still held accountable for it.
Yeah.
So it's like you fail doing what you want to do.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean?
that means a lot. What do you have upcoming? What's next for Maronzio Vance? I always ask you this.
I recorded an hour of stand-up on May 15th. I'm debating if I'm going to put that out as a comedy album, but I'm in the process right now of I'm about to shoot a comedy special. We're shooting for July, release it in November. So hopefully everything will fall together, but I'll keep you posted in the meantime. But if anybody wants to follow the journey or see what I'm doing, go to Maronzio Vance on all platforms, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, wherever, Blue Sky, wherever social media is. I'm not on Black Planet and I'm not on Snapchat, so don't go look for me on there, or MySpace. I deleted my MySpace last week, so don't even come look for me.
Yeah, Maronzio, I know I keep saying I'm gonna let you go. This is the last one, 30 seconds or less. Does it make sense in nowadays for personalities to have a website? You know, like, remember there was a time like, let me have a website, as opposed to, you know, now you're having the social media and stuff like that. Do you believe that obviously websites are now so antiquated for personalities?
It depends on what your business is.
Okay.
I think it depends on what your business is. Like today, I went and updated my website because I'm about to launch something, right? Mm-hmm. But it's important that I have a website because it's a part of the product that I'm launching. Like, it's a necessity that I have. Mm-hmm. That I guess that virtual brick and mortar for people to go visit. Mm-hmm. Like, for everybody else, no one's going to a website anymore. Only website people go to is Amazon.
Yeah.
Right? Outside of that, Amazon and Google. Other than that, no one's like, oh, let me go to this person's website to find out what their club dates are. Everything is in the bios now. You know, you got your bio, you got your link trees or whatever. You know, your OnlyFans account is in your bio. Whatever.
Yeah. Maronzio, as always, man, nothing but love for you, man. Appreciate the time. And thank you for giving me some of your precious time, man. As always, man. Super talented. Big fan of yours. And
you always give me compliments. I'm gonna say this to you.
Nah, man, because you know what? I believe that, like I said before, if you weren't talented, I'd be like, oh, get out here, man. You make me laugh, man. And it is contagious because you not only make me laugh, but you make others laugh, from NBA players, NBA executives, all these different individuals.
Because of you, I have met people I never thought I would ever meet. And that's a testament to you. Like, I don't think I would have met Penny Hardaway if it wasn't for you. I don't think I would have met Rick Mahorn if it wasn't for you. I don't think I would have had a relationship with B.J. Armstrong if it wasn't for you, or Derek Anderson, or I mean, you had June Cato on the podcast.
Cato June, yeah.
Cato June.
He's with the Indianapolis Colts now.
What do you do?
He's one of the coaches.
That's crazy. Who else? Charles Oakley. Yeah, Charles Oakley in the early stages. You know, that's crazy.
It's a lot of guys, man. But you know what? Definitely, it's your talent.
Dwight Howard. Remember the time you had Dwight Howard on, and I told him that he was going to go dressed as Wendy Williams for Halloween because they both got the same back. And it turns out he was Wendy Williams the whole time. What the hell, Dwight? What is going on?
Maronzio Vance, heavy in the paint. Peace.